Hey guys, I'm going to be doing a 2018 year in review roundup kind of, it's a highs and, this is a hits and misses really, the highs and the lows of the year. This came about, if you recall, if you watch my videos, 2 summers ago I think it was, I signed up for an online course in perfumery through Karen Gilbert. I did a video review of this course. I will include a link to it in the description of this video. I am still on her mailing list, so I still get these emails that she sends out every now and then to everybody, all of her students, former students, current students, and they'll often have sort of things to ponder. It was one of the things that I liked so much about the course was that I learned a lot, not just about perfumery, which was really kind of a cool experience. So she sent out at the beginning of the year this email, had 3 questions in it that she wanted us to sort of ask ourselves. And I am going to ask these questions to you. And if you would like to respond to them in the comment section, I would love to read your answers. If you don't want to share, if you just want to write them on your own, that's totally fine too. If you want to ignore it completely, hell, who cares? But I want to pose these questions to you. I'm going to answer them in my own kind of roundabout way as we start to talk about the highs and the lows of the year. And I will include some product stuff too for those of you who are like, what with the makeup? There are some, and maybe potentially a little bit of bitching too. So this isn't a shit list by any stretch of the imagination, but we will do a little bit of complaining in a moment. The 3 questions that I'm going to ask you, and again, these are not mine, these came from Karen Gilbert, are 1, what were the high points? How did they make you feel? And how can you have more of them in the coming year? 2, what were the lows? What were the lessons in them to take forward into the coming year? And 3, why did that? 3, what will I do the same and what will I do differently in the coming year? I realized that I changed it from you to I at some point there, but we're following each other, right? So when I looked back at the previous year, January 16th, 2018, I uploaded a video called New Moon. In that video, I was sort of coming to some sort of a realization about something, and I said that from here on out, I'm going to do videos about what I want, when I want, because I want. Because I enjoy it, and that's why I was going to be creating content. To my surprise, when I went back and looked at the videos that I created in 2018, there were 50 videos. Now, 4 of those were Patreon exclusive, yes, but that's still almost 1 a week. That's a lot of content for someone who the year previously uploaded, what, like a half a dozen times, something like that? So sort of letting go of that, what you're supposed to be, oh, I see, and embracing who you are, it really, I suppose, does sort of free you up to just, oh. But looking back on the last year, there were a couple, like, more than a couple, like mission accomplished sort of accomplishments. One of them was creating the Patreon page, taking the sort of control away from the YouTube algorithm manatees and putting it into more of a you-me kind of an interaction. I demonetized all of my videos as much as YouTube will allow me to, and am now completely funded through Patreon. So if you like what you see, if you want to contribute, if you want to say, hey, I want to support this, that's where you go. That's how I get money to be able to create content. It's already, we're in like month 2, and it's already started the ball rolling on a couple new projects, new content, things that I will be talking about at the end of this video. I don't think I said that. New projects, new content things? I don't know. That was a thing, and a thing that I struggled with for a long time, because it's hard to sit down and go, yeah, you know what, I think that what I do is worth a value. It's not easy for a lot of people. It's certainly not easy for me. Doris and Melba, online charity merchandise store. This was another thing that I did over the year that I was really excited about. Jay and I developed this. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time. I'm wearing my Doris and Melba t-shirt right now, actually. And that was completely unplanned. Everything that we're making on this store, and it will be up year round, I want to add new content to it as well. But everything that we're making, 100% is all going to charity. This is just something that we're doing and throwing our time into just because we want to. I just put in a request to withdraw the funds from Teespring. That's where the online store is through. And when I deposit my donation or whatever, I'll upload a video on Instagram so you can see it. I think I can do that. And then that'll be a thing. But I think we were at like $148. I thought we were like closer to 200, but I think I switched them numbers around. But $150 is still pretty good. And I am proud of it. Doris and Melba Labor Day and Christmas videos. I've never done a Doris and Melba summer video, and that was a lot of fun to do. That was something new that we did. Hello, helicopter. Can you hear that? And so that was kind of an adventure. And the Christmas video was exciting because it was the first time Jay and I had ever done improv with Doris and Melba. Nothing in that video was scripted except for the joke at the beginning where he pops up out of the backseat. That is the only joke we had. The rest of it we just sort of made up. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my. What? Doris! What are you doing in the back of the car?
Well, you said you wanted to get an early start, so I thought I'd just sleep in the car.
Oh my God. That was sort of a personal hurdle to overcome. Count Raven Insane, I did another Count Raven Insane video, the Dinner of Death thing. I involved other people in it, which was a lot of fun. I like getting people involved in projects like this, and Doris and Melba made a cameo in that. So that was a weekend. We did, you don't know this because I haven't said it, we did the Halloween video, we did the Christmas video the same weekend. That's why the trees are like in fall, because it wasn't actually filmed at Christmas time. And we did, I did the Metamorphosis music video, like that's over a period of like 5 days. It was all of those things, boom, 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 in the same room. So sets were taken down, put back up. It was a nightmare, but a lot of fun. And that is the last thing that I was going to mention as a sort of accomplishment. Something I was really proud of in the last year was releasing a new single, Metamorphosis. There's a B-side, Disco Zombie, check it out. And I just released a EP of remixes. There's an extended mix, a dub mix, and an 80s remix of Metamorphosis, if you didn't think it was 80s sounding enough. And doing my first actual like music video, like actual, this is a video where you're dressing up and singing to the camera, which was really awkward. And I had to have Jeff out of the room and be like completely, like the dog couldn't even look at me. It was very uncomfortable and weird to edit because it's just, it's not something you're used to doing. It's a little weird.
All strapped in and punched up to level 9. Sweat on your chin, more than just a sign. Ready to do what you know what, ready to step over the line.
But it was a lot of fun, and I'm proud of it, and I think it can. I like the song, and so yeah, those are my high point, mission accomplished sort of goals achieved in 2018. I want to talk about the highs and lows in products and stuff like that. So I have some beauty products, and then I have some like entertainment things that I was going to talk about. And then I'm going to talk to you about what is coming soon. We're just talking about beauty stuff first. My most loved makeup product that I love so much, I used before I filmed this video, and it's in the other room. I don't want to get up and get it, is the MAC Next to Nothing powder. Imagine a black MAC compact, if you will, right here. It is my favorite product from MAC that they've launched in I don't know how many years. I think it's an excellent pressed powder. It's an excellent, I use it as a powder foundation. I put my moisturizer on and I rub that stuff on. If it's too powdery, I take whatever's left of the moisturizer on my hands, because I use my hands to apply my moisturizer, and I just press it into the skin and kind of get rid of the matteness, natural glow to it. So it's not overly powdered looking, I don't think. I love this stuff. I now have a compact in my vanity. I have one in my gym bag as well, and one in my backpack. So it's like with me, as much as my Jack Black lip balm is. There's one of those within arm's reach everywhere, because I freak out if I don't have one near me. My biggest purchase regret, yeah, I brought it out because I still have it. This is the Proenza Schooler Lancome palette. This thing was a piece of crap, and it was I didn't even do a video on it. It was so bad. I was going to, and then I uploaded a video where I'm like, this is so shitty, I'm just not even going to talk about it. I'm going to do my makeup with something else. And I was going to return it. right? And then it sat on a bag here, and I got busy with other stuff, and I forgot about it. And I found it like a week or so ago, and I'm like, no, I am stuck with it now because I waited too long. Biggest yay. Oh my God. Now I'm going to get up and get this one. Hang on. And I mean biggest yay, meaning this is like the thing that I bought this year that I was like really jazzed about, that I really like, was an eyeliner that a friend of mine was wearing when we were out. And I was like, I actually like texted her back and I said, what do you have on your eyes today? This is the Marc Jacobs Highliner Matte Gel Eye Crayon in Out of the Blue. This is a crazy, and it's a little twist up thing, so you don't need to sharpen it. I am going to swatch it on the back of my hand. This is an insanely bright, like not neon, but just a nice bright cobalt blue. Look at that color. I love this stuff. Overrated, uninspired, and unimpressed. And I just wrote this list one night while I'm like laying in bed just watching TV, just so you know. So there's no rhyme or reason here. Overrated, uninspired, unimpressed. Anastasia Beverly Hills. I actually wrote, my note says my arch nemesis, and this is why. I love to hate them, and I don't know why. And I do use some of their products. The Riviera highlighter is excellent. The brow powder in particular, I think is the best brow powder ever. But I'm always like just unmoved by their eyeshadow palettes. If I'm Allison, they're Amanda. I've said too much. But tired of hearing about ColourPop, the brand I am most tired of hearing about. I am tired of seeing them. I am tired of hearing about them. I am tired of knowing that they exist. I am tired of everything ColourPop. Every time, maybe it's just me, every time I open up something, it's ColourPop, and I'm really tired of hearing about it. In the late 80s, early 90s, you couldn't turn on the TV and not see a talk show. It's the same thing, or the 800 Collect commercials. ColourPop is my 1-800-COLLECT. That's what it is. My fragrance obsession for the year, I remember to bring this one out. This is Opus 10 by Amouage, and I have talked about this before. I love this stuff. I love this stuff. This is a rose perfume. It's like a dried rose with a lot of green in it. And when I say green, it's like an herbal. I smell carrot tops. Like when you take a bunch of carrots and you take off the top, that sort of carrot green smell, that's what I smell in this. And I think it's outstanding. I hear another helicopter. My biggest I have fragrance obsession, fragrance depression. That's what I wrote down. This was my fragrance obsession. My fragrance depression I don't have because I didn't buy and I really wanted to like it, was the Bella Blanca by Oscar de la Renta. Now that did come out in 2018. The bottle is really pretty. It's got white flowers on it. It's very sculptural. It's matte looking from what I recall. The smell when you first spray it, you're fooled for a split second because it is the best white floral type gardenia type perfume that I've ever smelled. It's not too, I like gardenia, but sometimes gardenia, and this is natural gardenia, can have what I describe as sort of a gasoline quality. Do you know, like when you smell gasoline, that sort of weird, heady, kind of intoxicating, sort of uncomfortable paint thinner kind of smell? Gardenia can do that as well. This is a lot more fresh. It's a lot more like spring garden. It's really pretty. And then in a matter of seconds, minutes, certainly minutes on the skin, it just transforms into something that's so underwhelmingly almost generic. And I don't think it's got more of a white musk quality to it that I find very unpleasant. And I was really disappointed. Because that, and you're not going to get that fresh green, so of course that's going to be in top notes. It's just not going to last on the skin. In entertainment, my summer jam was Metamorphosis. I always have a summer jam. It's very important. The year prior was, it was Swalla. It's usually a bad song. It's usually a song that's so bad it's good. The year before that, it was Bang Bang with Jessie J. The year before that, I don't remember, but Summer Jam, Metamorphosis. It usually comes at the end of summer. I kind of look back on the summer and I say, what did it represent to me? And that was the song that I worked on all summer. So it just made two. I have two categories: constantly played and constantly played. I sort of fell into this hole of discovery. I used to listen to a lot of indie music. When I'm working on my own music, I'm usually not listening to music. But I used to listen to a lot of indie music, and back in the day, that meant acoustic guitar and someone singing very breathy into a microphone. But now, with technology being what it is and home studios being so easily attainable, there's sort of, at least what I'm thinking are indie bands, and obviously I'm probably, if you know about music, I might be completely out of the loop, but there's a lot of more melodic pop sounding. If you're a fan, okay, if you're my age and you grew up in the 80s, if you liked Fleetwood Mac, if you remember Christopher Cross, then you were probably gonna like a lot of these bands. And I'm talking about like Work Drugs. I listen to Coming Down all the time, and that one I think I heard in the grocery store, so that was likely on the radio somewhere. Video Age, Total Giovanni, Swim Mountain, some of Empire of the Sun, bands like that I listened to a lot. What I constantly listened to was the soundtrack to Bahubali, and I know that because Spotify told me, hey, you're listening to this way too much last year. So, if you haven't seen it yet, and you like an epic adventure film, Bahubali, I'm not sure where the emphasis is on which syllable, but it's a two movies, Indian sort of adventure, kind of fantasy-ish movie. It is so good. It is outstanding. I saw it on Netflix, watched the little preview, and told Jay, because he's my subtitle buddy. Jeff's not my subtitle buddy. I told Jay, I'm like, you need to come over, we need to watch this. So we watched it, and we were both just like blown away and became obsessed with it, and then listened to the soundtrack. I listened to the soundtrack at night when I would go to sleep. The songs are amazing, and I would have dreams of adventures, and it was a lot of fun. I did get Jeff to watch it, and even he liked it. So that's saying something, because he sat through the subtitles. He's not a fan of those. I binge watched, meaning, what did I sit down and go, okay, again, play the next one, was The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix. That was so good and kept me just wanting to watch the next one. I tend to binge watch a lot of shows, and I sort of also hate it. There was a time when I'm like, this is great. You don't have to wait. You don't have to watch commercials, and you don't have to wait a week to blah, blah, blah. You can just sit down and watch it all. There comes to a point now, or I have reached a point now, where I actually kind of don't like it anymore. I am sort of in this, it's like every week there's like a couple new shows coming out, and the whole series is online, so you can just sit down and watch the whole thing. So every week it's like you're watching the whole, you're obsessed, and you're watching, it's the best thing ever, until a week later when you're obsessed with something else. I don't like that sort of business model leaking its way from MAC Cosmetics into my Netflix. I don't know. There's something about it I don't like. It's just bugging me. I don't trust it. My biggest flop, and then sort of the future. I thought this would be fun to talk about. My biggest YouTube flop, as far as I see, was my ASMR mukbang video that I did with Erica from Hitchcock Madrona. I think it's hilarious. I've gotten so many requests for ASMR over the years. I've never wanted to do it. So when I decided I'm going to do one, I did it kind of on my terms. And so yes, it's a little bit snarky maybe, but we didn't yell into the microphone or anything mean. And there are people who like this type of content. So I am told. No one cared. It was a total flop. And now I love that it was a flop, because if it was successful, I would have felt like I had to do it again, and I didn't want to. And now that it did so poorly, when people said, like, I get comments still, you should do ASMR, your voice is perfect for ASMR. I'm like, yeah, bitch, I did an ASMR video. Nobody fucking watched it. So piss off, I say, with a smile on my face and not using those words. It was a very large oval.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like it was probably laminated on wood.
Mm-hmm.
And it was obviously husband, wife, daughter, forming like a triangle.
Okay.
The daughters looked like they were in their 20s, but they had bows in their hair. And everyone looked like they had prairie dresses on. And it was like the background was blue, but like at the edges where they were, it faded out. So they looked like they were like apparitions.
Yeah. No.
I wanted to take a picture of it so bad. I also wanted to sit in the bush bushes on the house opposite that one, and like Jane Goodall,
Yeah.
full on watched these people for like a whole 3 months.
Do you know why that painting was in the garage?
Why?
It's out of date. There's 5 wives now.
So, what am I going to continue to do? What I want, because I want to. Because that's the point. Creating content that I enjoy. The numbers, the views, and all that. The views are down for everybody. There's so much content. I'm not going to compete with. It's not my goal. I've talked about this in a recent video before. My goal is different. It's more about connection and interaction, and I enjoy what I do, and that's it's just a lot more fun that way. It's so much more fun. And look at all the content I created last year, just because I was deciding I'm going to do what I want, when I want, and have some fun. So much easier. Coming soon. So this is some stuff that the first 4 things on this list are all already, they've already been funded or will be funded. No, pretty much already by Patreon already. So thank you to everyone who is supporting me on there. And thank you to all of my patrons. If you'd like to be one, please check me out on Patreon. There will be a link in the description of this video. A guide to MAC concealers. This has been requested before. This is probably the most mainstream of the videos that I'm going to be talking about right now. Also a guide to MAC lipsticks. I'm not going to swatch every single shade of lipstick that they have, but I'm going to be talking about all the finishes that they have. I'm going to be showing and talking about all of the concealers that they have. This is very similar to my guide to MAC foundations. We're just doing it with concealers. I just recently ordered the remaining lipstick finishes that I don't own. I recently ordered the remaining concealers that I don't own. Music. There is a new song that has already been sort of handed out to the people on Patreon, and a music video that's much simpler than the one that I did before. There's a new song coming out called How to Breathe. I'm working on the B-side right now. That will be launched when I know the date. I will let you know. It's a slower song. It's a sweet song. It's a bit emotional. I'm quite proud of it myself, and it's a bit therapeutic for me to write. I want to talk more about the concept behind metamorphosis in that music video too. I will do that at some point. It's just been, I keep thinking I'm going to do it, and then it's like, yeah, but does anyone really care? And do I really want to talk about it? I don't know. At some point I will. We'll make a drink. We'll have a talk. More charity merchandise products. This is something I want to do. I want to add maybe my own stuff. Can't definitely count Raven. Hello. I want a Count Raven t-shirt. Right? Who doesn't? For face chart videos, I would like to do more art videos. This is something that I realized the other day. I've always drawn, and I've never, ever uploaded a video aside from the Draw My Life where I'm doing stick figures. I've never uploaded a video where I'm drawing anything. You've never seen any of my visual art, which is so weird. Isn't that funny? That seems so strange. So I want to do art videos, perhaps. If I decide I want to, I'll do those. And face chart videos. I'd like to do more work with those. I enjoy them. I am going to be creating one and uploading one for someone. There's a lot of ones in that sentence, and you'll find out about that when I do it and upload it and all that kind of stuff. So that'll be a thing, and we'll keep that train moving. Is that it? I looked down like there was another thing, but I guess that's it. Well, there you go. That was fun. So yeah, that's about it. Answer the questions if you want. Tell me how you're doing if you want. Tell me a joke. Make up a story about a fairy tale princess high atop a mushroom farm. It smells bad. Oh, there was another thing. I'm working on a new character. That's something also that Patreon has been helping me actually fund, because it's going into props and all that kind of stuff. I've already ordered some things. I think that I'm going to do this. This is something I'm working out. So it's too soon to say. Oh, and other stuff. Fuck me. Podcast. Did I say podcast? What's wrong with me? I'm working on a podcast. That's something that Patreon is also paying for. What is wrong with me? We should like start this whole thing over, but we're not going to because this was a lot to film. So the other thing that Patreon, there's two more things. There's the podcast. I talked about this before. It is actually underway. It is I'm working on it. It's being developed as much as it needs developing. It's just me sort of getting everything lined up and ready and figuring out mostly the technical end of how to do stuff and kind of getting myself motivated to do it. I'm not going to be sitting down with anyone. That's not the plan anyway, to sit down and talk to anyone. It's just going to be me. I don't like listening to podcasts where there's a lot of people talking. That's just me. It's fine if you do. I get it. It's entertaining. You like hearing two people chitter chatter. That's fine. I feel left out when I listen to those things. I am more of an audiobook kind of person where I want to listen to someone interacting with me. I've always been better with one-on-one. If there's a private lesson, I'm signing up for it. That's just how I roll. I don't think that I'm the only person on the planet who feels that way. There's too many people here. So this is for those of us who don't really jive on the chatter between two people that I think is just loud. And it's maybe a little more personal. I'll let you know more as it kind of happens, but I'm working on the writing, and I've already sort of been reserving the paying for the distribution stuff that you need to do. That's something that Patreon allowed me to do. And going back to what I was saying before, I'm working out a character. This is more of a funny thing, like Doris and Melba, kind of like Count Raven, not as over the top. But if that happens, I'll let you know. It's very early stages right now, and I want it done right. Not perfect, just right. So that's the thing that I'm doing too. There you go. Future things. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate this. Again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section. Answer the questions I gave you at the beginning. Let me know what you think if you want to contribute and say, hey, why don't you do this video? And if you like what you see, you can find me on Patreon. And face charts, music, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon CD, baby. And I guess that's it. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. I say that a lot because it's true. I'll talk to you soon. Okay.